Hey, what's up, guys? So we're going to continue here with our Let's Play of SC2VN. Here we go, I guess, so where we left off. I enjoy playing online and all, but matching against someone only a few feet away is way more productive. Talking over games in person makes it easier to get feedback and improve, and that's what I need more than anything else. The sting from my failure at the VSL qualifier will take time to fade. I don't want to experience that pain ever again. I get to sight of Jet in the middle row, her attention locked on a ladder game. Without disturbing her, I sit at her side and watch the match unfold. Furious taps and clicks rattles her keyboard. Furious taps and clicks rattles her keyboard. Her focus never drops from the game, much less her monitor. She's ahead, although not by much. It's not long until she extends her lead into the late game, and a few minutes later heaves a sigh of relief when her opponent rage quits out. There's no need for me to consult my Korean skill. No need to consult my Korean skills to understand his final matches. Zer Imbata. He actually showed. Color me surprised. How could I not? The better question is, how do you have the free time to practice with some amateur? I'm a terrible sort, obviously. Anyway, you're here, so let's stop wasting time. You've paid for your PC, yeah? I nod and log myself into the station next to hers. A minute later, the two of us are grinding out practice matches. Game after game is a beatdown. I can't crack her defenses when I attack, and I'm barely holding when she goes on the offense. She's just as unforgiving in pointing out my mistakes as she is in game. The wall at the ramp to your neutral trash. How the hell do you get away with this? You're asking to get busted. Is that something I really think about that much? I just throw it up, you know? Fix it or be punished. That probably isn't an idle threat. Jet is a type of player capable of ending the game instantly if she can capitalize on the right kind of mistake. Her style has been characterized as both passive and reactive. She takes her time and watches her opponents. Patient, the right moment to strike. She only takes the risk if it's calculated in her favor. Given her former success, the style has suited her well, although I can't help but wonder why she hasn't lately been performing at her previous level. Maybe she's lost her killer instinct. I guess not. A reminder of the skill difference between us rushes up the ramp by my natural expansion and crushes the wall as promised. In the aftermath of the destruction, she swarms my base and seizes the easy win. Jet revels in her victory with a predatory smile. What a wrecked. I don't like you. Before we get into the next game, I catch a sight of a familiar face coming into the cafe. Huh, isn't it the same guy from last night? Hey Jet, do you know who that is? I thumb the stranger's direction he passes by, his attention occupied by a cell phone screen. Jet throws a look after him, wrinkles her nose and shrugs. He's a KPGA player. Protoss. What about him? Come on. Get into the game already. Seriously? He was at All Out Attack yesterday, and he's doing outside of his team house 2 days in a row. They're only figuratively chained to their desks, not all of them are shut-ins. Stop wasting time, let's go. I double take away from Jet to find the player in question seated a few rows in front of us. I got some stuff in my desk. He's got the Starcraft 2 client open. Why would a KPGA player spend his practice time playing anything but Blood War? Should I ask him for a game? I think I'm gonna ask him for a game. What? No, hold on. Wait, you can't just... But before she can stop me, I raise and shuffle my way past the rows of computers. Jet shoots me a withering glare over the top of her station before ducking back down. Even though I barely interact with the guy, I can't help but feel a little anxious as I edge closer to his PC. Sure, he was a bit rude when he spoke, but the chance to challenge a KPGA pro is too good to pass up, especially if I'm trying to step up my game. He's about to jump in a match when I clear my throat right behind him. He severely ad taps and then turns to regard me, although half-idle eyes. What? Excuse me, would you mind a practice game? Huh? No, I'm just here to... He pauses. Recognition flits across his face. Flits? Flits? That's flits. Wow, flits. Okay. You're the guy from the All Attack yesterday, aren't you? I nod sheepishly. His only reaction is to stare on. For a moment, he looks ready to dismiss me and get to laddering, but at the last second, he nods. Alright, one game. With a final nod, I return to my station. A moment later, he and I share a game lobby and just about ready to begin. He's playing on a barcode account. Typical. How would I have not managed to catch this guy's name? I sharply tap against my headphone and announces Jet's return in displeasure. You're obnoxious. If you lose and embarrass me by association, I'm going to pretend I don't know you. Anything else Jet has to say is drowned out along with the sounds of golden zone fire when I pull the earpad back on. If the idea behind practicing against a good player is to improve, I should probably play standard. Still, the temptation to all in is always there. How sick would it be to grab a quick win on a KPGA player? I'm probably best to follow Jet's advice, opt for the standard macro management game. This guy's building permitting. I take my natural expansion to begin teching up. The match progression quickly without a few brief skirmishes with his stalkers and my marines. My scan shows that he's doing nothing out of the ordinary. One of us has to make a move sooner or later. I start constructing my starport and researching my bio upgrades. I'm surprised to find that they finish without any pressure coming from the Protoss army. This could be a good time to go for some drop play and try to snipe some of his critical tech buildings. If we were to play an aggressive drop style, I need to be confident in my control and the fact that I can outplay him. On the other hand, this game has been exceptionally quiet. If I could get up another expansion, I'll have a serious economic advantage going on in the into the late game. Man, what I want to do, oh. I cut the Marines long enough to save up for a quick third base. It finishes before my first drop ship is even out. Just as my expansion is about to land, a red blimp shows up on my minimap. It's a void ray? I have a missile turret defense, so I could be fine. Wait, no, it's floating on the outskirts of my base. A wasp prism? He'll be able to warp his unit into my base. My army is completely out of position. He starts warping outside of my static defense. Zealoids rush into my base and tear my mineral line to pieces before I can move units back to defend. This is bad. Oh god, he's at my neutral too. He's got such a big army, I can't keep my defenses up with my economy crippled. I spread myself too thin. Oh, if only I had done a better job scouting. With my production structures cramped, my units die almost the second they finish training. That's checkmate. I don't have long enough to suck the defeat before KPG makes his way over to me with a smirk. As promised, Jet is nowhere to be seen. That was greedy. Although Stupid would be great spin defeat, I try my best anyways. Yeah, well, it's not something I've practiced a whole lot, and I wasn't really producing as efficiently as I could have. It wouldn't have mattered. Bag mechanics should be the least of your worries. His grin darkens to one without humor. Is this guy serious? What the hell is your problem? You demand a game and whine when you get a little pushback. Look who's talking. Everyone knows your type, a foreigner out to make a name for himself. You'll fly out here on a whim and waste 6 weeks training. You aren't the first and unfortunately won't be the last. Your plane ticket doesn't buy you the right to call yourself a pro gamer. Save your money and your time and go back home. I feel my heart rise to my face, half in anger, half in embarrassment. I've never dealt with confrontation. But before I could say anything else, Jet steps from around the corner and cuts between the two of us. So great at making feds, huh, Bolt? He glances between the two of us, surprised. After a moment pause, the so-called Bolt seizes back his smirk and meets Jet with a step forward. Been a while, hasn't it? What's suppose a Star League champ doing in a trash like this? Bolt looks past her and tilts his head towards me. I take a step towards him, but an open palm from Jet stops me from going any further. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised. Jump ship to a scene bloated with foreign money that has its upsides, but it won't be long before you forget the dignity of a programmer. The dignity of a programmer, huh? You make it sound so distinguished. You changed for the worse, and you don't even realize it. How sad. Shouldn't be much longer until the KPGA finally accepts that there's no future in Blood War. You're smart enough to know what happens then, but hey, the scene could always use more cashers. Whatever you say. For the record, that excuse did you give your coach for another day off? VIP's a little more lax than Shock T1. It might want to borrow that one day. At that, Bolt skulls. Jet doesn't waste an opening and strikes again. Don't worry, Dunga. Wow, your secret's safe with me. Run along now. I'm sure you have got your coins to flip or something. The standoff lasts a moment longer before Bolt lets out a lazy shrug, instantly killing all intensity in his expression. I've got better things to do than offer advice to a mouthy chobo. Do what you want, kid. Wow. He thumps his nose at me and returns to his station without another word. As soon as Bolt's out of sight, Jet makes an arm in a vice and practically drags me away. What the hell was that? Did you close your eyes, expand, and hope for the best? Even after that heated conversation, her concern is with the match before anything else. I almost laugh. I don't know, I was trying to be kind of tricky and putting my third base where he wasn't going to have normally scouted. It's blatantly obvious that you were expanding if you haven't shown that army in that late of the game. All you had to do was look around the map and collect a free win. Her pointy critique diffuses the tension from the moment priors, even if it doesn't exactly make me feel any better. What she's done going through as long list of mistakes, Jet flicks a hand back towards the PCs. Come on, queue up, game against me. Oh jeez. I suck at this. That's about played. I told Jet that I wasn't feeling up to practicing after we played a few more one-sided games. She seemed annoyed, but agreed with my suggestion to take a short break. Back in high school, I used to spend most of my time at the library when class was over. To be honest, this was probably the most time I was willing to spend outside of my room since then. I'm not the type to read for fun or study diligently, but it was nice to have a place to go and be on my own. I've missed those afternoons since I graduated. But Golden Zonefire is a good replacement hangout as I could have hoped for. It's clean and comfortable, and I could pretty much anything that I need to stay 24/7. This is an exoneration. Some of the patrons here look practically glued to their chairs. With a milk tea from one of the vending machines in hand, I return to my seat across from Jet. She isn't wearing the same scowl from earlier, but I can tell she'd rather be practicing. What are you drinking? She snatches up the can across from her and takes a long sip. Coffee. What kind of coffee? Coffee is coffee. I don't drink sugary drinks. Sugary drink. And for the record, it's obnoxious to challenge someone that you don't know to a match. Is it really such a big deal? I just wanted to practice game against a good player. Seems harmless. Do you know those types that snipe and start on message boards so that people pay attention to them? More than a few come to mind. That's you, except you did it in real life. Cut me some slack. How do you know that guy anyways? His name is Bolt? Yes, he plays for Shock T1. Shock, huh? Bolt must be a new recruit. I haven't paid much attention to them or any Blood Dweller teams since Starcraft 2 came out, but he definitely wasn't on the roster a year ago. Right, how do you know him? Jet clicks her tongue and breaks her gaze away from me. I silently appreciate her reprints from the death glare. Oh, sorry, I gotta move a little. If you must know, he and I went to the same middle school. I was in the class above him. Oh, okay, I was thinking he might have knocked you out of a tournament or something. No, I've never played him in Star League. You don't need to overanalyze everything. Silence falls between us as Jet nurses what remains of her drink. I can't tell if she's really into the coffee or she's just trying to find something to occupy her lips rather than our conversation. I doubt Jet spends much time PC bang, given that she's got a team house from practicing from. I should consider myself lucky that she'd make time for me to come out here at all. You know, this makes your fence for you to focus on qualifying for VLS, right? I blink myself from my thought to meet Jet's intense stare. What do you mean? What's the point of us meeting up to practice then? No, I'm not saying listen. I want to round up some players. For what? For VSTL. Team League, but you're already on a team. Yeah. Yeah? She wavers, considering whether or not to tell me what I've already figured out. You're leaving VIP? Jet's eyes jump to mine, brows raised in surprise, then furrow in annoyance. She's been on VIP for almost a year and is by far the team's best player. Management barely pays us and nobody's motivated. They're worse than bad. They're complacent. I want a fresh start. Hey, I'm not guilting you. It just isn't something I expected to hear. Do you have a team house picked out? No, not yet. What about a coach? No. Oh well. Do you have any players in mind? Look, it's a work in progress, okay? I had to wait for her glare. She raises as I raise my hand defensively. Okay, I won't ask again. For a while, silence. Jet does her best to avoid eye contact, but I can tell she's thinking hard about something. Just as I'm about to rise to replace my milk tea with another, she speaks. You know about all of the new foreign teams popping up recently, right? Yeah, what about them? Isn't it strange? They're worse than almost every Korean squad, yet most of them have more sponsors. Well, there's a lot of esports fans outside of Korea these days. People want to support their hometown heroes. I don't think it's that simple. What? Where would the money come from if not from the fans? Idiots. What? Idiots. Idiots that call themselves investors. Idiots that throw away money keeping mediocre players afloat because it makes them feel good inside for whatever reason. Well, she and Bolt agree on one thing at least. Okay. Are you going to find some idiots to sponsor you? No. Well, she takes a long moment to reconsider her answer. No, it wouldn't work out in the end. What I'm getting at is there's too much of our scene ignores the foreign fan base. It's a huge mistake. Well, there's a time zone difference and the language barrier. Also, I don't know if you know this, but lots of foreign fans don't find Korean players entertaining. What? How dare you? It's ridiculous. I'm just relaying common knowledge. Don't hold me accountable for the opinions of Silver Leaguers. Most Western fan support goes to the people who entertain, well, streamers, casters, those kind of people. The most famous players in your scene aren't the best. That's appalling. Hey, don't pretend like Blood War didn't get famous on the backs of dudes who looked good on camera. If the PC bang was the ship, the fangirls pulled the oars. That's the difference. They were pretty and skilled, not one or the other. And show some respect. Those dudes are the only reason you and I are able to have this conversation. The sharp response and equal sharp glare gesture is that I shouldn't argue at this point. Jet knows better than I do anyways. We're getting off topic. There are tons of potential fans that most Korean teams ignore simply because they're too hard to connect with. Yeah, I agree. She lifts an eyebrow statement for just a bit too long before glancing away. If I wasn't sure before, I am now. Go on, say it. Say what? I know what you're thinking. You don't. No, you don't. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah. What am I thinking then? You want me to join a new team you're starting so I can help you with the foreign fan base. Also, you invited me here to try out under the guise of practice. Blank. Zimso's backer seat defeated. I fight a losing battle against the urge to laugh. Don't look so smug. Oh, I hate dealing with team management. You could always hire a manager. Before we have any players, maybe I should just keep my head down and practice. No, don't do that. I think it's a good idea. You're only saying that because I gave you an offer. Maybe, but hey, if you go through this, I'll do whatever I can to help. How are you the one convincing me to go after my own idea? Damn it. That is funny. She chews on her lip, likely considering the harrowing risk of leaving her team. I haven't made any commitments until we at least have some other players. I'd be stupid for me to move out of the VIP house without everything lined up. This is something I've been thinking about for a while, even if I don't have every detail hashed out yet. I want to keep overhead low and practice time high. Lean and mean. She aims a finger at me, her dull nail a hair's breadth from my nose. If you're going to be part of this, you're going to pull your weight. You can start by searching out players, unless you'd rather find me a coach and a sponsor. I cringe backwards and raise my hands. No, I'll leave it to you. Good. I'll work out better this way. The minimum number of players for Team League is 4. So you need to find at least 2. You know, this isn't exactly what I had in mind as a deal joining a team expense. Walk away if you'd like. You have a long way to go if you want to be anything other than a translator mascot anyways. I admit though, Excel was right. I see glimpses of high-level stuff in your play. But as of right now, you kinda suck, even for foreign standards. Offense intended. You seriously need to start busting your ass. Coming to Korea is pointless if you aren't still practicing. If you're still practicing Western hours. Well, nobody ever claimed that Jet wasn't honest. I'm going to work you and everyone like dogs. If this team comes together, I won't be happy with anything less than first place in VSLTL. VSTL. Well, I appreciate the chance. I offer a smile that she quicks to match. If we're going ahead with this, I got a lot of stuff to do. The deadline to register for Team League is in 2 weeks, so we can't afford to waste time. Get moving on your search. Alright, good luck. I'll catch you online. Yeah, later! When she's gone, I fall back to my chair and take a deep breath. Jet just asked me to join her team. I pinch my forearm and judge the sensation that flows, which my disbelief dissolves into completion. Oh my gosh, who writes some of this crap? The other game that I did a series on? Who writes some of this crap? Who uses some of these words? Oh, I'm gonna rage this sucker. Contemplation. 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 How the hell am I gonna find 2 worthwhile unsigned players? A mixture of guilt and pride lead me to spend the rest of the day at Golden Zone Fire. Between the ladder games and a break for dinner, I scope out the cafe's best Starcraft players. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like any of the Golden Fountain's regular patrons are much to write home about. There were good players here for the all-out attack, but today, most of the cafe's patrons were playing Blood War, and that's the only ones that are actually laddering in Starcraft 2. There was only a single guy in Master League. I'd have to extend my search outside of a single PC bang, but I guess I have to be a little more convenient to find. It has to be a little. It'd have been a little too convenient to find VSL caliber players so easily. That sentence just. I get the urge to stop at the convenience store on the way back to my apartment. There's only one I've been going to regularly for my nightly fix of sugar and caffeine. The store's blinding bright signage is visible from more than a block away. Green capital letters spell out the store's name in English on a backdrop of white. Go Mart. The door's familiar chime welcomes me. It's the same clerk I've seen at least a dozen times before, stands formally behind a cash register. He looks a bit too old to be working still, but maybe he owns the place. It doesn't have help to work the night shift. I see myself standing behind the counter in an unwanted mental image, and the fate I could easily await if I failed to make it as a professional gamer. I shake my head free of those thoughts and make my way to the refrigerated section of the store to fill my fists with cans and bottles. Some of the drinks may have strange names, but I'd be damned if they aren't good. I drop in my counter in front of the old man and briefly make eye contact with him. He seems to recognize me, but doesn't say anything to indicate it. He winks at my drink slowly, not from age or class, but because he is in no great rush. The store is empty aside from me, after all. 6,000 won. I swipe my credit card in the register in the department and depart with a polite smile, anxious to return to my apartment. The clerk returns with an expression and watches me go without another word. The only top-tier player I'm speaking to is Excel, but how would I even approach the subject of getting him to leave his team for a new untested one? Maybe it would be better for me to simply get a lead on from him. If I can't imagine that, then I'm left to scour local PC bangs and message boards on my own. Whatever, I'll figure this out tomorrow. And you had to convince her? Seriously? She's been talking this up to me for the past 2 months. It's a big change, I guess, and come on. I'm just met you guys. How can she not be hesitant? Excel grins, no doubt replying Jet's angst in his mind's eye. Huh? Okay, I read that right? Okay, I'm gonna check myself. Okay, check myself. Excel grins, no doubt replying Jet's angst in his mind's eye. What? Seriously? Who writes this garbage? Who writes this garbage? Writes this crap? Do you people check like what you're? Oh yeah, replaying Jet's angst in his mind's eye. Oh, that makes total sense. It does make total sense. Don't you agree that makes total sense? No, change it. Thank you. Getting in at the ground floor is a major plus, but you were in the right place at the right time. If it works out, that is. Axel glances over his shoulder before returning his attention to me. Most teams barely pay their players anything. I've got it good for someone my age, but I have part of my winnings taken for the team's benefit. Ouch, lucky for Westerners, this isn't a trend that's caught on outside of South Korea. So I can't do it. It's impossible. The word simply will not come out. What? Oh. Ooh. Oh. Axel lets a laugh out, genuine and highly amused. He tries to get his words out and, unlike me, eventually ends up succeeding. Sorry, Mac. I cannot do it. I signed with cash until the end of the year. I'm not allowed to play for anyone else until my contract is up. As I expected, really, I shouldn't have come to him as surprise. I sigh, fall back in my chair, rest my palms atop of my head. I have to ask, Jet's expecting me to pick up our players while she handles the management and sponsor side of things. Hey, well, can I help you with the next best... I can help you with the next best thing. What? 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 Seriously, I don't know. Gosh. I'd be thankful for any help at all. Oh my gosh, this is getting worse. It's getting worse. I know I'm not tired and I can't read, because I know I'm tired and can't read, but it's not that bad. Don't you worry. I've got a short list of easy pickups, an extremely short list. He clears his throat. There's only one person on it, but hey, better than nothing, right? Who is it? Oh, straight to business, eager for your bunk bed, I see. Trust me, Meg. You'll want the bottom bunk. What is this? Oh my gosh. You know from experience? Sure do. When I was 16, some up-jump Blood War clan scrapped me from the bottom of the barrel and set me up in their overcrowded sweatshop of a team. What is this? Had to sleep above someone at least 2 years past a graceful retirement. I've seen solid repairs with better AMP. He snored a lot. APM, sorry. As horrible as he is trying to make it seem, Excel sounds closer to wistful than bitter as he recounts his first years as a professional gamer. What happened to the team? Sponsor Flake. Team didn't have the money for legal action. Coach didn't tell us until we were 20 minutes before rent was due. Someone stole my mousepad as we were moving out, and that was the end of my Starcraft career. Wait, no, it kept going for 70 years after that, and somehow still isn't over. I always forget that part. XL, top Korean Terran, master storyteller. Anyway, this guy just made stunt. Plays Protoss. He's pretty good. But does there have to be a but? I'm a sensible but. I'm sensing a but. Oh jeez. It's a small but he's increasingly cheesy and maybe a touch arrogant. And he's a high schooler, but he's good. Why haven't the other teams picked him up in that case? He shrugs. I get the feeling that Excel generally doesn't know, but I'm left anxious nonetheless. Still, it's important to have at least some kind of racial distribution. Oh my gosh. That does say racial distribution on the team. Seriously. Not in terms of foreign or Koreans, mind you, but rather of Zerg, Protoss, and Terran. Do you how I get... I'm just gonna stop this. Take a breath. Take it. This is... Oh, I'm gonna play this game. I don't even... I gotta admit that now. I'll admit that at the end. Do you how I could get in touch with him? Do you how I could get in touch with him? That is the sentence. That is the sentence. I'm stop. Oh my god. Ooh, someone's hitting me up. Sorry. I'm going to take a picture of this because that is super duper not. Get over here. That phone's dead. It's stupid. There we go. Okay, now I'm better after that, like, 2 seconds of, or 5 minutes. I'm trying to figure out what the frick people are saying. Seriously. I give you the info for a friend request, but he'd probably block you on the assumption that you're a fanboy or a gold seller or something. Your best bet to find him in person at Stomping Grounds. His Stomping Grounds? What do you mean? Where? No. Stomping Grounds. It's the name of the PC bang he's usually at. Oh yeah, no, PC bang. Yeah, you sucking son. Ugh, another trek across Seoul? I've never heard of this place, much less been to it. Axel takes a note of my frown and wags a finger at me. What? You fly halfway across the world and can't even bother to walk for a half hour? Take the subway if you're that lazy. Ah! No, it's fine. I shouldn't expect it to be this easy. No, it's not. Now we're talking. Get going. I'll keep an eye out for you for your next player in the meantime. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna pause it here because yeah, this is now going crazy, and yeah, this is gonna be fun and different, and so we're gonna pause here. Continue going. Like I said, Fridays are gonna be long series day, so this is what I'm doing, long series. So. Thank you guys so much. Please game in the description like always, and please follow me. A bunch of stuff on there. Twitter, Instagram, my Twitch page. Thank you guys so much. Please hit the subscribe and the like button. Would you please? It would be awesome. See you later. Bye.